Hello, my Lenderman shop friends. Today I'm doing a short video on repairing the flush valve in your toilet. I have to be completely honest here. Yesterday I replaced and I did some video recording and so forth to put this video together. However, I unfortunately deleted a lot of what I recorded yesterday. So in the beginning part of our video today, I'm going to walk you through a few things, and then we'll pick up from there from the video that I actually survived yesterday's delete marathon, I guess I went through. So I replaced the flapper in our toilet because the flapper was coming off on one side, and I used a corky flapper that you'll see a little bit later. The American Standard flapper that's in the toilet now, my Cadet 3, it was not at Lowe's, it was not at Home Depot, and it was not in, it wasn't in any either of the plumbing supply places that I called. So I actually had to order it online, but I did need the flapper yesterday, so I got a universal flapper, and it seems to be working okay. Today I'll focus a little bit more on the flush valve, and the problem was that the water kept running. It was leaking out the top of the valve, and usually, and in my past, and what I found online is that when that happens, you just kind of replace the entire valve. But what I discovered at Home Depot, they actually sell these little seals. Okay, this is the old one that I took out, that can save you from replacing the entire valve. So let's take a look at it. I'll walk you through a little bit about how I took it apart. I'm not going to take the whole thing apart again today because I don't want to fool with this more than I need to, but I'll walk you through it, and then later on in the video you'll see how it goes back together, and that will help you when you go ahead and take it apart. Okay, so let's go ahead and look in the toilet, and we'll go from there. Okay, to begin with, when you're working on a toilet, you generally need to turn off the water. So my water is way down below there on the side. So I turned that off. It's actually not off now, but I turned it off yesterday when I was working on it. But I can show you how to take off this cap here. Now, these might all be a little bit different for you. Yeah, this is a Fluidmaster. So I'm just going to pull up a little bit here and a little bit on the other side. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and it will come up for you. So just going to pry a little bit there, pop, and a little bit on the other side. Okay. And it comes off just like that. So it's just hooked on there by these two tabs here in the front. Actually, they're not even hooked on there. I think they're just hooked on right here. They're hooked on right there, and they go over this tab and that tab there. So, okay, so you just got to give a little force and pull that up. All right, now the problem I was having is that there was water flowing out of the top here, and that's something we commonly see on this type of flush valve. The water coming up through here. And again, in the past, what I would normally do is just take this whole piece out, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, and buy the whole new thing and replace it. But I discovered that these can be taken apart. So you see a little arm here and a little arm over there. What you need to do is lift up with your fingernail. Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that, detach this here. Okay, this is your arm that goes down to your bobber, your fill bobber there. So you'll have to detach this here just by giving a little force. Hold here and then pull off that way. You might want to take a picture of this as to what it looks like before you pull this off. So that way when you go to put it back together, you know how to put it back together, because there's a little wing down, or a little washer looking thing down here. We take this arm and this one over here, and we just kind of pry up a little bit with our fingernail, or maybe you might get a pair or a small screwdriver, and you twist it this way, and it has to go over this little nub right here. So you lift up here, lift up there, go ahead and twist it off, and this piece right here will come out, and you will find this seal on the bottom of that right there, and that's what seals your water right here. Okay, let's pick up from the video that I did not delete yesterday. Go ahead and clean this out the best you can. Careful this little needle here, and then make sure you clean this. Now, I've already cleaned this one out, which is why I'm doing this again. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my new one that comes in this package. A universal fit. Make sure it's the same size. In this case, it should be exactly the same thing. and then just follow your directions on the back here and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so if you're concerned as to does this go this way or this way, check the cover here and it shows you right there that we have to put it on this way. Now, I just put a little bit of soap on that pin because you don't want to bend that pin because that will just ruin the whole project. All right. All right. And let's see. And all right. And you can see the pin coming out the bottom there. All right, now what we need to do is put this back down there. All right, so this is a fun little part I just saw in the directions here. It says it right here on the directions, is to hold a cup over this and then gently turn on the water just a little bit. So we're gonna turn on the water so it rinses out any debris that might be in there. And of course the cup is so that it doesn't spray all over on your face and all over the bathroom. So here we go, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. Okay, so that was pretty effective. As far as using the cup goes, I guess some stuff came out of there. All right, let's get this other piece back together and we'll put it back on top. We put this right back down here. It's only going to fit in this way. You could, if you turn it way over there, it would fit in that way too. So those are just different adjustments for you know, where this is set up in your tank here. So we're back to here, and I just discovered that when there's water in there, it takes a little bit amount of pressure to get some of that water out of there. So you press down and then turn so that these two arms can get back over their little nubs over there, and it locks it in. All right, let's see how that goes here. There we go. All right, and then it just clicked. All right, and that, hopefully that is it, because that is definitely a tighter seal than the old one that I just took out of there. The next step is we'll turn the water back on, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and reattach this this adjustment arm here. In the case that it actually does work after I fill up the tank, I don't want to have to reach into the water and do this. So again, this just kind of snaps on. Hard for me to show it to you as I'm doing it. And this, of course, helps you adjust the height and how much water goes into your tank. It does help as you're pushing that back to just kind of give it a little twist and it'll help it go in that arm. Okay, let's turn the water on and see what happens. There you have it, folks. There is no water coming out of here at all. I am super excited that this actually worked, just this one little piece. So if you have a leak up here, do yourself a favor, check it out. Maybe all you need to do is buy this seal. This is the old one right here. And apparently this one dried out. You know, it's 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, I can't remember, but it's old. So instead of replacing this whole piece, we just did this. $3, about $3 for this. About $15 for this whole piece here. So I'm going to take that back. All right, let's see how the whole combination works. We took care of the flapper today. That's a universal flapper from Corky. And then we put in this little seal over here. All right, let's give it a flush, see what happens. Hold it down so it's done flushing. I lengthen that chain just a little bit there so there's no tie up down there. That worked out great. So all you need to do now is put this cap right back on top. And you just kind of line it up with these nubs up here. You probably don't even need to put that on, but I'll put it on because I have it. And just push it down. Yep. Okay, and there you have it. After I flushed this, I let it sit for a few minutes. I checked over here. There was no water coming up there. There was a couple drips, which I heard, but I believe that was the new flapper, which is a universal flapper. But the drips stopped. I shined my flashlight down in here. You might want to do that too. Just take a flashlight. Take a flashlight and go down in there, shine it down in there, make sure there's no water going down in there. And then listen closely. When you hear no water running, you're in pretty good shape. Folks, this is another one of those days where, or another one of those projects where you're hoping it was only going to take maybe an hour to fix everything. But as I discovered, getting into this, the first thing I discovered was that the American Standard flapper is not very standard, so I had to order one, but I really needed one today, so I went and bought the universal one, the 3-inch universal at Home Depot. So as long as this one works, I'll just leave it in there. If I hear it starting to fail, which it might, then I'll go ahead and put in the new one, the American Standard. Again, I have the American Standard Cadet 3. I'm pretty sure that's what I have toilet. And then the second issue that we've been having over the last, probably about the last 6 months, was that the water kept running, the flush valve. You had to reach in the toilet and pull up on the bobber there to stop the water. So we fixed that with just the valve seal. When I went to Home Depot, I actually got the entire valve as well as the valve seal, because I thought, if this doesn't work for me, then at least I have the valve, the entire piece to put in there. But we got away today with just doing the valve seal. And if you have this issue where your toilet won't stop running, then try the seal first. This only costs $3. If it doesn't work, take it back, get your $3 back. And then you would go on to this. There's plenty of YouTube videos about this. I haven't seen too much. I saw a gentleman show how to clean this. But I had no idea you could actually take these apart and put in a new seal. I got this at Home Depot as well. If you have to do this, that's fine. Still not. It's only $15, so it's not a huge expense. But if you can get away with this, even better. Thanks for watching Lenderman's Shop today. I hope you got a little bit of something out of this short video. I wish you all the best. Comments below. How'd you make out with your toilet project? All right. Till our next video. Take care.
Cause